the, the cover, and this will have the business, or not the business stuff, but like the names and all that. Then you'll have our back panel, and then on the other side, we can have all of our information about it, right? Like what it does, why not to do it, etc., etc., and go through all that. We can change the colors also to fit all together. We have two sides, right? We're using two sides, right?
We're probably going to have
So can we
4 signs.
Can we use different mottos?
No, I think you want to be consistent so that you'll have a different message on each one, but the same motto and the same logo, so that you're consistent, and that'll go on the brochure too.
So idling is ozone. Creates ozone. Destroys ozone. So
That's what our research team has to tell us. The ozone is the protective layer between our atmosphere and space. So that's important. But our researchers can tell us that.
I feel them crash against my skin, and I smile as I respire because I know they'll never win.
Hello, my name is Jimmy Packman. I'm part of the Communateens 4-H Club. Today we are in the aquarium at the Wetlands Institute, and this is Dr. Lenore Tedesco, the Executive Director at the Wetlands Institute. So hello.
hi, how are you doing?
So with the Wetlands Institute and the climate change, I was wondering how that would affect your facility.
So climate change is actually a great concern to the Wetlands Institute because our facility is located very close to sea level or adjacent to the tidal marshes in Stone Harbor and Cape May County. So as we watch sea level rise changing, we've actually seen some of those effects of sea level coming in, more flooding, more concern about coastal storms, and also based on the work we do here, how it affects organisms and nesting birds and things like that.
What exactly do you guys do here? What is done here at the Wetlands Institute?
So the Wetlands Institute is a nonprofit organization that studies, preserves, and protects coastal and wetland ecosystems. So we work with public to conserve some species and ecosystems. We have an education program that kind of brings everything together so we can communicate the things we do to the public.
Oh, that's cool. And what kind of animals do you have here?
So we're in the aquarium right now. The aquarium focuses on some of the local species that are in back bays and the estuaries near the institute. So we stick with the native organisms so people can understand what kind of fish are here, vertebrates. We also focus on diamondback terrapins, so that we have another space with diamondback terrapins. We also have some land turtles that are common here. And we also have a horseshoe crab hatchery, so we work on horseshoe crabs as well. So a whole spectrum of things.
So we talked about the sea level really affecting the facility can be dangerous at times. But do you know of any ways on how to prevent that?
Yeah, so preventing sea level rise is going to be really hard, but we know there's a lot of evidence that indicates that the rate of change in sea level rise and other climate factors is a product of anthropogenic change, and especially greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases are produced by burning fossil fuels, so we have solar panels and solar arrays, so we try to use more solar energy. So we have a lot of programs in place where we try to reduce our use of energy and then supplement our energy use by fossil fuels with renewable resources.
So with what we're doing here with the Communateens 4-H Club, we plan to help with these greenhouse gases and help with the sea level rises by putting in signs and letting
know how idling just here near the marsh is going to be affecting the weather so badly. I was just wondering about how many times a day do you see cars actually idle here?
Yeah, that's a great question. So just people being aware of the fact that idling does increase greenhouse gases unnecessarily. If they shut the car down, they would stop that. I would say we have a policy of no idling. It's a state law, so we try to make sure we enforce that. Is when we have large buses come and bring school groups here, we'll have a bus come with 100 students, or 3 or 4 or 5 of them at a time.
So when these larger vehicles come and idle with their cars, how does that affect the Wetlands Institute directly?
Directly, there's a bunch of ways. First of all, it's noisy and you really don't like that. You get out of your car and you have this beautiful ecosystem and you hear a car running. So that's kind of, a negative thing. But it's supposed to be natural sounds and you hear cars and things like that. So to the extent that we can minimize that, that's a direct, immediate effect. But secondarily, the whole notion that we are reducing the amount of carbon dioxide related to other particulates that cause asthma, there's other respiratory things that go along with it. If you educate people about it, they become aware of it, that's a way to change behaviors. It's a really good idea.
Okay, thank you.
There's a haze above my TV that changes everything I see and